Episode 8, Us versus Them, Religion and the Manufacture of Division. Religion has always done more than inspire devotion or offer moral guidance. It defines boundaries, it tells us who belongs and who does not. Across time and cultures, these boundaries have been carefully constructed, reinforced through ritual law and narrative, and leveraged to consolidate authority. Understanding this mechanism is critical to seeing how belief shapes communities and divides them. In ancient Israel, dietary laws, ritual purity, and temple practices marked insiders and outsiders. Observing the Sabbath, circumcision, and kosher rules created a shared identity, a collective us bound together by ritual and morality. Those who transgressed or rejected these norms were outsiders, not simply in the social sense, but spiritually distinct. Community cohesion and obedience were reinforced through the contrast with the other. Christianity institutionalized social boundaries through heresy and orthodoxy. In the early centuries CE, countless gospels and teachings competed for legitimacy. Councils like Nicaea determined which texts and interpretations were correct. Dissenters were labeled heretics, often publicly shamed, exiled, or executed. The dual promise of reward for obedience and punishment for deviation created a psychological framework in which conformity was both desirable and necessary. The Church became both moral and political authority, defining who belongs spiritually and socially. Islam, too, draws clear distinctions between believers and non-believers. The Ummah unites those who follow the divine law and the Prophet's guidance. Apostates, heretics, or external groups were often legally, socially, or politically marked. These boundaries reinforce governance, loyalty, and shared ethical standards. Compliance with community norms became both a spiritual and civic duty. Religious symbols, rituals, and clothing also signal division. The cross, hijab, yarmulk, or ceremonial robes indicate belonging, reinforce identity, and signal boundaries to outsiders. Public practice and performance of rituals train the body and mind to internalize social and spiritual hierarchies. Behavior becomes a visible indicator of belief, obedience, and loyalty. Fear and reward operate in tandem with these divisions. Exclusion, excommunication, or accusation creates pressure to conform. Inclusion, blessing, or communal approval provides incentive. Over centuries, these mechanisms produced highly cohesive communities, but also intergroup conflict. Religion became a tool for both unification and polarization. This pattern is not limited to Abrahamic faiths. Hindu caste distinctions, Buddhist monastic hierarchies, and indigenous spiritual societies all incorporate forms of inclusion and exclusion. Even secular ideologies often employ symbols, rituals, and moral codes to delineate insiders from outsiders. Human are pattern-seeking and group-orientated. Religion formalizes these tendencies. Understanding these divisions allows us to see how belief can be manipulated to foster cooperation or conflict. It shows that social identity, moral expectation, and authority are intertwined. Awareness allows believers and non-believers alike to navigate faith consciously, to discern ethical unity from manipulative division, and to question when boundaries are wielded for control rather than community.